super flavorful, super tender, and just easy. Today I am going to be making a chuck roast in the slow cooker. It's really easy, really simple. And I know there are not a lot of recipes out there online where you don't cook the chuck roast with, you know, potatoes and vegetables and seasoning, and you really don't need any of that to make it taste great. So this is a grass-fed, oh, we got the blood dripping. This is a grass-fed, grass-finished chuck roast from White Oak Pastures, and it has a really good amount of fat on it. As you guys can see, I'll bring it up here a little closer. Has really good marbling in there, and White Oak has been my favorite place to buy meat from lately. It's all really good quality. It's low histamine, which just means they freeze the meat upon slaughter. When you buy meat from the grocery store, it's aged typically for at least a month, and so if you happen to have histamine issues, a lot of people will feel better with eating unaged beef. So White Oak has unaged grass-finished beef that tastes amazing. So I'll put a link to White Oak Pastures down below. They're a really great farm that I source a lot of my meat from, and you can use the code RIBEYERACH for 15% off your order. They're definitely one of the most affordable places to buy high quality grass finished meats from, and their practices are just amazing. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I make my chuck roast. I have defrosted it, and basically I'm just going to add Redmond's real salt to it and then sear it in the pan in raw butter. You can also use beef tallow or any of your favorite animal fat to sear and brown the edges of the roast, and that's just gonna really bring out the beefy flavor and make it taste even more delicious. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how I make it. Make sure you cover all sides of your roast with Redmond salts. Then start heating up your animal fat of choice in a pan on medium-high on the stove. Once it's nice and hot, then put your roast on and cover it with something, ideally a lid, but I didn't have one, so I just used foil. Sear both sides of the roast for about 2 to 3 minutes each side until it's golden like it is here. Then you're gonna sear all the remaining sides of the roast for about 30 seconds each side. Now all you have to do is transfer your roast into the crock pot and heat up some water or beef stock on the stove, about 1 cup, and then pour it over your roast. You're going to set your crock pot on low for about 8 hours or on high for about 4 hours. Just make sure you keep an eye on it because you want to pull it out once it's really falling apart and tender. As you can see here, I'm pulling it out and it's literally falling apart, which is exactly how you want it, so that it shreds easily and it's just tender and delicious. Shredding the roast would be easiest with meat claws, but I'm just using forks and that worked great, and that's all there is to it. So the chuck roast is done, and like you just saw, it just pulled apart as I was taking it out of the crock pot. So it cooked for about 7.5 hours. You can see it's still really hot and perfectly shredded on here. And so all I'm gonna do is put some Redmond salt on it. I'm gonna give it a try right because I'm super hungry. So good. I've noticed that with grass-finished chuck roasts, I've also made bison grass-finished chuck roast from North Star. You can really like taste the connective tissue in the roast more so than if you get one from the store. It's just got a really distinct flavor that I like a lot. Super flavorful, super tender, and just easy. I mean, all I did was really sear it and throw it in there and forget about it all day long until it was ready for me to eat. So I'm just gonna enjoy eating this chuck roast because I'm super hungry. But in a little bit here, I'm gonna show you how I strain the meat stock off of the crock pot after I make a chuck roast. It's so good, you don't want to throw it away. And yeah, there's just something that I love about not letting anything go to waste, and it's also really, really good for you to drink. So I just used a stainless steel funnel with a fine strainer in there and pour all the liquid from the roast in there to just strain it out. And I typically put it into a mason jar and add electrolytes to it when I drink it. So that's how I strain out the meat stock. You really don't have to strain it at all. You can just drink it straight, which I do a lot of the time. But sometimes pieces of the meat will still be in there, and so I'll just kind of strain those out. But you know, it's still all fine to drink, and tastes great. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's my favorite stock is from chuck roasts, and it actually does get pretty gelatinous, like the jello like texture when you put it into the fridge. Definitely don't throw this away, it's super good for you. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy your chuck roast. Let me know how it goes. Be sure to subscribe. I have lots of fun new videos coming out soon, and I will look forward to seeing you guys again next time.